This AI automation turns your product images from something like this to market-ready solutions like this one. And it does it all automatically. So now I'm going to give you a quick demo, and then we're going to go through it step by step and build it out together. So this workflow starts with a form submission trigger. So you type in a form with the product image, and this just stays on your hard drive, and you link the image, the product title, a brief description of it, and the email address you want the product to send to. So I'm going to click submit. I'm going to watch this workflow shoot off. So what it does is it uploads the photo to a Google Drive, and you have a product image agent, which is detailed with a highly detailed prompt for the agent to then produce a smaller prompt that gets fed into the image generator. And then from here, it downloads the original image, and then it's creating the image from the prompt that's made from this big agent over here, which I'll go through in the video as well. So now the generating the image itself, since I'm using OpenAI's new model, a new image generator model to generate these images, and since there's a lot of requests at the moment, that it just takes a bit of time for it to work. So I'll be back when it's done. All right, now the image is done. That took about 30 seconds to a minute or so. So not as long as I thought it might be. But from here, you convert it to a file, and you do this so it's actually viewable as an image, not just a bunch of string of text. And from there, you upload the file to a Google Drive, and you can also send it via email. I've got this email to set up just to create a draft instead of actually sending an email, but you can do whatever you like. And then from here, I'm going to look in the drafts of my email. I have the link to my image. Let's paste that in here. And voila, image is created. High quality, shadows. You can put this on your website page, post it on your socials immediately. All right, so that's done. Let's get into the build itself. Okay, now we're in a new n8n workflow. What we need is a trigger event. So as you know, we're getting a form submission on new form submission. All right, now from here, we need a title. It doesn't matter as much, but I'm gonna say go to market. Oh, because that's the idea of what we're going for. We're trying to get a regular image and then make it market ready. So now for the form description. In my WOP Academy here, I have on form submission here, give us a product photo, title, and description, and we'll go back to you with professional marketing materials. That's the description of what this form is basically going to do. So now when you submit an image to the form, that's what it's going to tell you it's going to do. And you can just copy paste that in, or you can just type it out, either way. So from here, we need to add elements. So before we had 4 elements for the image file, the name, the description, and the email. So that's exactly what we're going to set up now. First of all, file name. We want this product image. We want this to be a file. We only want one file at a time. And we want this field to be required because it needs a base image to work off. So that's the first element done. Second one, product title. We want this to be text. And we can have a placeholder in the background just to give an example for the user to type in. So you don't have to do this, but I'd say hat, if it's a brush, it could be shoes, could be anything. But as I said, it's just a placeholder just to help the user guide them to type in what is exactly needed. And again, we want to check the required field box. For the next element, we want product description, and we want the same thing in the element type. We want that as text, and then we don't have to have a placeholder, required field, one more form. We want to add the email address, and then element type, email. That way it knows it needs to actually have an email inputted. It can't just be a text, like text of an email, and then the email's wrong. Now it's actually looking for an email format. So for the placeholder, I'll go example at email.com, require field again. Perfect, done. We can test the step. Form shows up. That's our little description we gave it at the start. We have the file, everything like we need to. Perfect, done. I'm gonna stop listening. And now we go into the next step. The next step we need is a Google Drive node, and we want to upload a file. Upload file. Okay, the one thing you will need is to connect your Google Drive credentials to n8n. That's a bit out of the scope of this video, but I will leave a link up the top right now to a video that shows you how to do that. So once your Google Drive is connected, we want to keep these as default: resource file, operation upload, import field data name. We want this to be product underscore image. Okay, now we have this as product image. For the file name, what we want to do is, back in the WAP Academy, we have the prompt needed to input here in the file name. Now what this is doing is it's getting the product title from our original form, and then it's going to use that as the name for the image that it's generating. So another way to do this is we execute the previous nodes. I'm just going to upload the same images here, product title, submit. There we go. Okay, now it's submitted. And one thing as well to note, it is a good habit to do to, one, constantly save, and another one is to each node that you do, test it as you go. So that way you're having previous information that feeds in through to the rest of your workflow, basically. So yes, now that file name is here and it's green, it's ready to go because it's getting it from your previous nodes, which is right here. And then from here, we can test the step again. Great, executed. Output, perfect. Now, on to the next step. This is where we want the agent itself. So we want AI agent. And then I'm going to rename this. I forgot to rename my other nodes. Product image agent. It's definitely a good habit to get used to. Rename. And then I want to define below source of prompt. And then the prompt, the user message. We can go back into the Academy here. We have a product and the description. And then we have on form submission, which is triggered from our previous nodes that we executed as well, and the description of it, which is what we typed in the form. Okay, so now we have the product and the description in our prompt for our user message. We want to go add option, system message. Okay, now we have all this information here. The next step is to actually create the detailed prompt for the agent. So we're going to go on to add option, system message, sorry. And this is the highly detailed thing that we need. So over in my WAP Academy, I have a detailed prompt built out here. And what we want to do is copy it. Oh, don't delete it. Copy it and paste it in system message. We can click expression and then click that arrow down there to open it up. And this basically tells the prompt what it's doing. It's gathering the information that we filled out in the form, the image itself, and it's creating a small prompt that'll feed into Openai to create the image from the original image. Okay, and that's the prompt itself done. Next thing we need is a model for the agent to run off. For me, I just used Openai, and I use 4.1 as of recently. And then the same thing as well, you're going to want to connect your Openai account, which is fairly simple. You just need to, I'll show you right now actually. So what you want to do is go to Openai API keys, Openai platform. If you type that in, click it there. You need a subscription as well. So if you log in, create your account and do all that, and then you get a subscription with a token usage and everything like that. Then once you're at this page, API keys, you want to click create new secret key, type in the name what you want, demo, n8n, whatever you'd like, and then you create a secret key from there. And then after that, the key will pop up in front. But what you want to do is save the key, because from there, you can't actually access the information of it. So you'll have to recreate a new one. So if you want to constantly use that key, make sure you save it somewhere safe. So now that's done. We can set that up as the chat model to run the agent. And then what I'm going to do is test the setup. Great. Now it's done. The output is a hyper-realistic product photo of a high-quality toothpaste tube. Blah, blah, blah. So now this will feed into our image generator later. But that's great. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so the next thing you need is another Google Drive node. And then what we want to do is download a file. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is get another Google Drive node. And then what we want to do is download file. Great. Now we want to keep all this the same basically. We've got a Google Drive account connected. The resource we want to file, we want to download it. And then what we want to do is from the file from list, we want to change it to by ID. Then in our WAP Academy, we've got the prompt that is needed. You can either copy and paste that in, but sometimes copying and pasting it directly doesn't always work. So we can just type it out. And we want upload photo. And if this doesn't work, you upload photo, make sure that you change the name of the first Google Drive node to upload photo, or whatever you'd like. Just make sure that this is named according. So we want upload photo. We want .item.json.id. Done. So now it's getting the item name, the ID, the JSON, and then now we can view the photo, which is the original photo we have. So now what we've done is we have the original photo fed through. We have a new prompt as well, which is just here. And then from here, we're going to feed it into OpenAI to create the image. So the next thing we need is a HTTP request. And then we want to post. So now we've got post selected in the method. We want the URL of OpenAI's image generator, which in the Academy is right here. We can paste that in. Perfect. Authentication, generic credential type, generic author type. We want header, and then we want OpenAI as well. Okay, so for the OpenAI, you need to create a credential as well. And what you want is, in the name of it, you want authorization. And then for the value, what you want to do is type in bearer, space, and then whatever your key is, which you originally created before with OpenAI. So that's literally bearer, space, and then your key. And then that'll connect your header auth OpenAI for this to work. Then the next step, we want to send body. We want to check that box. We want to do form data. And then the parameter type, we want n8n binary file. We want the name to be image. The input data field name, as we can see on the left here, it's data. So we want that to be data. And then we want to add another parameter type. We want to keep the form data. And then for the name, we just want this to be prompt. And then for the value of this, back in the WAP Academy, we can copy and paste this value in. I'll just remove this. And this is getting the product image agent output, which was the prompt that's going to be fed into OpenAI to create the image. And then we want one more parameter. We want a form data, sorry. We want this to be model because that's what we want. And the model we want is GPT image 1, which is their newest image model, which creates really good images. Probably the best on the market at the moment. And that's it. We can test step. Let's see if this works. As I said, a recommending testing step after every node to see what's gone wrong. And great. So now that's done. We have the JSON text string of the image itself. So the next thing we want to do is convert this string into a file. And the way we do that is create a new node, convert to file, and then we want move base 64 string to file. Now this is open. We want to show data from the previous string. And what we want to do is drag this data in to there. And that's it. Test step. That one's very simple. And then once it tests, it executes, we can view the photo, and there's the photo that we've just created again. And then now all we really got to do is upload it to a Google Drive and then be able to attach it to an email, which is exactly our next step. Another node, Google Drive. We want to upload a file. From here, we have everything basically as we need it. We just want to make sure you're putting it in the folder that you want. And that's done. Test step, executing node, executed, fine, great. It's worked great. But really you can just leave it there and then access your Google Drive and have the image there. But I will show you how to do it via email. And then you can even attach this to directly upload to your social medias if you want. The opportunities are endless. So we want to send a message. But what I want to do, I don't want to directly send it. I just want to create a draft, just because I don't want to send the email to anyone. And then if we go back into our Academy here, we've got subject, marketing materials. And then we want to copy this in, get the draft, subject, paste that in. Perfect. On form submission, which is going to be the title, product title. It's got all the stuff that we need. So for the email type itself, we want text, message. In the message itself, I'm going to copy this and paste this in. So this will be the body of the message. I will space it out accordingly, just so it's more of an email format. And if you have if you're marketing for a team or something or a company, and then you can get this out, you can automatically send these messages. Oh, sorry, just remove that. And then this here is your image, and we have the JSON web link, which is from our previous node with the Google Drive. Then we go here, it's the web link. And then what we can even do, I will test this flow actually. I'll test it to make sure it works perfectly. Great, it's loaded in the drafts. Let's go to my email. Perfect drafts. These are the ones I was testing. Hey, here's your image. Cheers. Simple enough. Copy and paste this. And done. Just that easy. Complete product ready, market ready product images, all at your fingertips through 8 nodes. You can probably even optimize this to be less or whatever you like. All the information I use will be in my WOP Academy, which will be linked in the description. It also includes a template for this workflow. And on top of that, it includes dozens of pre-built prompts like this one that you can use for a variety of different use cases. Video creation, sound creation, image, text, LinkedIn posts. I could go on and on, but that's the idea of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want more n8n tutorials or AI automation tutorials in general, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.